Good morning. We've officially reached the part of the school year where there's too many weeks to do nothing, not enough weeks to do everything, and pretty much zero motivation left in my life. We have the rest of this week, which is today and tomorrow, and then we have the last week in April, and then we have 3.5 weeks in May. We have, I think, 25 days left. Too many days for me to just be like, let's play and have theme days and all that stuff. That will start in 2 weeks. So for 2 weeks, I need to do things, and I still have content I want to teach. But as I said, the motivation, that left. It's taken off early for summer vacation. All right, if you're like me, you probably also look like you are falling apart. Hold on, I'll come back. Okay, hi, I'm Brittany. I'm a second grade teacher in Utah, and we are getting ready to head into our last 4.5 weeks of school, our last month of school. And if you are like me, you might be feeling a little bit of burnout. Last year around this time, we were pretty much wrapping things up because we were all online and things were definitely slowing down. Things aren't quite slowing down yet around here. You might have state testing. You might just have 4+ weeks of school still left, depending on when your school district gets out. So I thought maybe I would just share a couple ideas of what I'm going to do to survive for the next 4 weeks of the school year, because I just figured it out and I'm really excited about it. So I'm going to show you how I figured it out and then maybe give you some ideas of how you can survive through the next 4 weeks. We're going to keep this video short and sweet because you shouldn't be. Everybody has time to be, but you probably shouldn't be wasting your time watching me on YouTube. You probably have other things you need to get done. So we'll keep it short and concise, and I'll just share with you what I'm doing. I'm also, you'll notice on here, I still have a couple holes. So if you have ideas for things that you're doing that I'm not doing yet, that I could do, please let me know. Help me out. Anyway, here we go. Okay, so my normal planning looks like this, a rough draft. Then we went to this, which was a little bit more structured draft. And now we have this. This is the entire month of May planned out, every single block of time that I will be teaching kids so that I can make sure I get everything done, but also fill up all the time. So I'm going to tell you about a couple of these projects, and then some of the things that are not so much projects, but as content that we're finishing will be a little bit harder for you to get done, but that's okay. The first one is going to be Mixed Up Fairy Tale Writing Project. Okay, so the Mixed Up Fairy Tale, I found a roll a story online that is a mixed up fairy tale. So we write down after we roll the dice and we get a setting, a character, and a problem. And from that problem, we build the beginning, middle, and end of our story. Then we write out our story just in our regular writing books. And what it turns into, the project, is it turns into this comic book where we write our words underneath and draw the pictures to match. And we make these silly mixed up fairy tale comics. So that's our first project that we're working on, is we'll be doing that mixed up fairy tale. Do a Mother's Day craft. We make a little breakfast in bed. It's a sack with chocolate and juice and a granola bar, and there's a little mom that goes inside a bed that you glue to the front. We're going to be working on word problems. That's just content. In case you didn't know, May 4th, Tuesday, is Star Wars Day, so we're going to be doing some little Star Wars crafts in the afternoon. Symbols of the Nation is one of our, I'm losing all my words right now, content areas, and I've made it stretch over 2 weeks by doing a bunch of different symbols. So I do the Eagle and the Liberty Bell, I do Mount Rushmore and the White House, I do our flag and our pledge, we talk about the Statue of Liberty, the Lincoln and Washington monuments / memorials, and then the Capitol building, Constitution, Declaration, and then we'll also be talking one day about some of our state symbols. I bought this off of Teachers Pay Teachers. As you can see, it's out of date, but it has pictures on one side and facts on the other. So we're going to use a combination of this and a PowerPoint I created. And then I also just went online and found crafts to match with everything. So I'll teach about it one day and then we'll do a craft about it the next day for most of the content. So that'll take up 2 weeks. Again, more math content that we're just finishing up. So the first 2 weeks of May still have a decent amount of content in them. The last 2 weeks, so this is our last full week of school. During our last full week of school, I forgot to show you for Star Wars Day. Here's the shaped Chewbacca that we're making. He was off of Teachers Pay Teachers. For our last full week of school, we do theme days. And I bought all of my themes that we do, the camping, the beach, the sports one I didn't buy. These two I didn't. I made those ones up myself. I bought a camping, a beach, and a movie day off of Teachers Pay Teachers. And most of them are like this. They come in a packet. This one is from Teach, Dream, Inspire. And they just have like a packet with a bunch of activities in it. So we do rotations, and we usually do 4 or 5 rotations for about 10 minutes each. This happens at one rotation. There's some sort of reading, like this one we read in a tent, some things like that. And then I also have this huge packet that I bought from Teachers Pay Teachers. I couldn't tell you where because it doesn't have the name on it here. But this is a math review book, and it's thick, like it's pretty decent. And so we use that for the full week as one of our rotations as well. There's like little graphing activities. This one you graph with Fruit Loops, cute stuff. So we'll do that for that week during either our reading workshop time or in the morning. It just kind of depends on how that goes. Usually I do it during our reading workshop time because it involves some like read to self and stuff. But we'll have to see how this year is because things are different. And then the last week we usually have our school-wide, this thing. We make Bebop mazes. This is a Bebop. And I showed these Bebop mazes in my end of the year videos last year, but here's a picture. And yeah, that's a super fun one. The last week of school this year is going to be some of our in-school or whole school activities. We're having a modified field day, and we're also still doing our dance festivals, so those will take up most of that time. We also have this awkward middle day where the upper grades are going to be doing their field day. So we're going to do a lemonade day, and we'll do a lemonade tasting, and I have a product that I bought off of Teachers Pay Teachers that has the tasting and like a graph to go with it and the cute little, all the things, and then also has this set of like money task cards that we'll do for our math thing. And then I always do cleaning day at the end of the year. This is one of those things that I haven't decided if I love or hate, but I have the kids help me clean up this place because there's a lot of things that can't be out. Oh, look at that. It's a mess in here today at the end of the year that we need to clean up. So we have cleaning day and I have them help me. I have a whole block here and an hour chunk here. I have no idea what I'm going to do yet. But other than that, the entire rest of the school year is planned because next week is planned on my computer and all of May is planned right here. I can't even begin to tell you how proud I am of myself. Yesterday I had no idea what I was going to do, even like with my life at all. But now I have the whole year planned. And I just saw one more thing that I forgot to show you. One of the other things we do at the end of the year is we make little yearbooks. I've done this before where I bought the blank books from the Target dollar spot, or you could just take a folder, like a file folder, like a manila folder, and fold the flaps in so it opens like a pamphlet. That's a really bad way to describe that. This is a product on Teachers Pay Teachers. Let me turn around to build a yearbook with. So it has little like pieces. When we did the blank books, we just kind of glued them in here wherever, like things that you like. And then I added some extra things where you can draw some pictures and stuff. So we make these little yearbooks as a craft activity to remember our second grade year. Anyway, that was an incredibly rushed explanation of what I do. The biggest things that you should take away from that is fun writing projects, more intense social studies or science work, theme days, and a yearbook project. Those are pretty great. I love doing those towards the end of the year. That's kind of my fun stuff that we do. So that's what I'll be doing to get through May. And it's going to be good too. We're going to practice our dance festival, which I choreographed this year because I like doing that. So I don't mind taking it on. And we have 4.5 weeks left. And I think we're going to be good. You may have noticed that there's not a lot of like language arts content. Our team, our second grade team, decided a couple years ago that we weren't going to do Unit 6 of the Wonders curriculum because it's just kind of over their heads and a lot of review, and most of the time we just don't really have time to do it. Sorry, I just got an email from my principal, so I had to check and see what that was. So we just don't do it. So we are actually done with Wonders as of this week. We're done. And so I don't have any more, basically the month of May, we don't have any scheduled language arts content, and we have very limited scheduled math content. So I can kind of pick and choose, go deeper with things that I haven't done. Like even an odd was thrown in there because we just didn't get to that at the beginning of the year, and that's kind of important. So we're going to throw that in and review that. Like little things like that. That's prime end of year stuff. Golden. Another thing that's awesome to do at the end of the year is readers' theaters or other projects that kids can do mostly self-sufficiently so that your brain cells can be expended on other things. Because believe it or not, if you didn't know, I have to clean up this place. I have to reorganize everything. I have to start getting stuff ready for next year so that I can actually have a break over the summer. My fingernails match my watch. I'm getting distracted. So, like, I have work to do at the end of the year, and their little bodies being in here does not always help that work. So sometimes I just need things to keep them occupied, and you don't have to feel guilty about that. There are definitely some of these days where I'm like, we will take an extended recess to fill up some of the remaining time. Like, it's okay. It's okay. It'll happen. It's all right. I think for me, what's really important about the end of the year is that we really enjoy one another's company. I want to leave with positive memories of these children. Right now, I'm really liking them. We're getting along. We're having a great time, joking with each other, and we just got a great community feeling right now. And I don't want to lose that by trying to force too much to happen towards the end of the year. I will also note there have been times in the past where I have neglected to plan many things and really regretted it because we thrive on structure, all of us, not just personalities like mine, but literally every human. So do not give up structure. One last thing that we do is a countdown activity. We do the last 10 full days of school for ours. Lots of people do like the last month of school. And so what I do is let's end the year with a bang, and I hang up balloons and we pop them, and inside each one is an activity. And at the end of the day, so for this year, because we get out at 2 o'clock, we'll do them from 2 o'clock to 2:30. We join with the rest of the grade and we do an activity. So we have things like, what do we have? Chalk outside, bubbles, and outside readathon. My list is over here. We do some Go Noodle, paper airplane contest, a kindness day where we make cards for people, video watching day, a popsicle day, and then we also make reading rocks, which are just rocks I found outside that we decorate to remind ourselves to read over the summer. Really creative, revolutionary stuff, you know. Anyway, that's about all I have for you today in this super informational moment. I just need you to know that, like, you're gonna live, because I need to know that. And I feel like if I need to know that, probably somebody else needs to know that too. All your little hairs that are falling out are going to make it. We have 4.5 weeks left. I'm so sorry if you have more than that. You will have 4.5 weeks at some point. And now you've got ideas of what to do with those 4.5 weeks. Please share any additional ideas you have down in the comment section so we can all, enjoy each other's ideas. I don't know if I am allowed to say this on the internet, but I think teachers are the best community of beg, borrow, and steal that there ever was. And I mean that in the best way. We don't like steal things from each other maliciously. We snag a lot of ideas off each other. And I think that flattery is the best, imitation is the best form of flattery. So if you want to copy all my ideas, go for it. Please, by all means. I'll be thrilled to death about it. Anyway, I'm going to go clean up this mess that I made trying to show you all the things that I'm doing at the end of the year, and then get my copies made for next week so that I can actually be prepared. Good luck with all your end of the year things. Hopefully it all goes well, and I will talk to you next time. See ya. I definitely do not have a secret countdown going behind my desk. Are you kidding me?